This is your life, and this is Kingston in Surrey. But for a certain visitor here today, it's a world away from what was her home in the Pennine Dales. After the best part of her lifetime as a recluse, she is now something of a celebrity. And as most of her life has been spent without the benefit of electricity, she probably knows very little about this program. It's my job to enlighten her. The lady I'm after is in here at this very moment signing copies of her book, Innocent Abroad. Now, there are cameras in there which she thinks are for a local television program, but not quite. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have a book with your name on it as well, but I don't expect you to sign it. No. Because this is a big red book that says, Hannah Hauxwell, this is your life.
Oh, goodness me, that's a surprise.
I'm very pleased to hear that.
Thank you. It is.
I know you've come a long way. We only have a very short journey from here to our studios to tell your story.
Yes.
But you have a lot of eager customers still waiting for you to sign their book.
Yes.
Shall we let you do that and then we'll tell your story?
Oh, well, thank you very much. But I don't know what you'll make of me.
There's your seat. Oh, a few more, yes. Hannah Hauxwell, this is your life. Please. Well, Hannah, here you are, surrounded, as you've seen, by special friends, and watching from the Countdown studios in Leeds are some of the many friends you've made at Yorkshire Television. And here's Richard Whiteley with a message for you. Richard, hello. We're all ears down here.
Yes, hello, Michael, and hello, Hannah. Now, Hannah, we've just seen you being surprised by Michael in that bookshop. Now, I know you've had quite a few surprising experiences in the last couple of years. How was this one?
Oh, I think it'll about top the list for surprises, yes, even for me.
Well, you certainly seem delighted to see all your friends in the studio down there, and you have lots of friends in the studio here, because, Hannah, I have to say, you've been a much-loved favourite of ours here at YTV, and I know I speak on behalf of everyone in the Yorkshire area, including Emmerdale, Stan Richards and Fraser Hines here, when I say how very proud we are of the way you have coped with suddenly becoming such a nationwide celebrity. Now, here's Carol Vorderman with a special message for you that comes right from the hearts of all your friends here at YTV.
Yes, many, many congratulations to you, Hannah. We hope that you do have a wonderful day. And I've been digging around in the vowels box and also in the consonant box to put together a few little words just for you. We just hope we spelt them properly. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. And they spelt it right as well, didn't they?
Well, I'm no speller, so...
Oh, well, I can tell you it was right. As Richard said, it was a Yorkshire television documentary in 1973, Too Long a Winter, that first spotlighted your remarkable lifestyle.
Hannah Hauxwell is a Daleswoman, a spinster, and Britain's most unlikely celebrity.
Well, the man who made that award-winning documentary and other programs about you, as well as being your co-author on several books, is here tonight, Barry Cockcroft. Barry, tell us how you discovered Hannah.
Well, I first heard about Hannah from some hikers who were walking the Pennine Way, which ran through Hannah's land, and I'd been commissioned to do a series of programmes called The Hard Life. That was a generic title, and it seemed to me that this lady certainly fitted that particular bill, so I went out to try and find her. I very nearly didn't, because it's a very remote place. I'm glad I did. I certainly found that I had a programme, Hannah, but I didn't realise that you were going to go on to be venerated by millions to almost to the status of sainthood.
Thank you. Well, Hannah Bales Tallentire Hauxwell, this is your life. And you were born at Sleepburn Farm in the Yorkshire Dales on August the 1st, 1926, the only child of farmer William Bales Hauxwell and Lydia Sale Tallentire. When you're 3, you move with your parents to Low Burke Hat, an 80-acre farm in Baldersdale set by the Pennine Way. When you're 7, your father dies, and your uncle Tommy Hauxwell, seen here with your grandmother, Elizabeth, and one of the family horses, moves to Low Burke Hat to help run the farm. You become a pupil at Baldersdale School, and here you are in the class of 1936. You leave school at the age of 14 to help your mother run the farm. In the long winter nights, your mother encourages you to cultivate a love of literature and music, and you take turns playing hymns on the family organ. It's something you continue to do long after your mother died in 1958, leaving you to run the farm on your own. You survive by raising 1 calf a year for sale at auction, and you live on the proceeds for the next 12 months. In 1970, you get a visit from somebody who has read about you in a local newspaper.
And when we meet, Hannah, you say to me, "Excuse me, please, I am slow of speech. You see, I have not spoken to anybody for a week."
Retired headmistress from Bolton, your friend for more than 20 years, Margaret Higginson. Tell us about how you did meet first.
Well, it's a long story, really. I knew some girls who were walking the Pennine Way, didn't I?
It's your pupils.
And I'd read this article in the Yorkshire Post, and I said, "Take her some sweets." So they did. And they came back and they said, "She's rather a strange lady." You didn't know that, did you? So a friend and I decided we must go and find you. And we did. And we found you had no radio even.
No.
So we brought you a radio.
Yes.
And you were so hungry for serious conversation.
I was very lucky. This lady's been a grand friend to me. And
Everybody's grand to you, aren't they, Hannah?
Very.
It's your word.
proud and privileged to have her as a friend over the years. And very pleased to see you tonight.
Well, that's finished your tribute. Have you finished yours?
Well, I think I'd better leave room for all the other people who are waiting behind and longing to get in and say their say. So I will deny myself.
Thank you, Margaret Higginson. From being a recluse, Hannah, you were suddenly catapulted to national, even international fame by Barry's first documentary, Too Long a Winter. Barry, were you nervous about what effect all this might have?
I was terrified. I wondered what on earth had done to the poor lady, because the whole world seemed to want to beat a path to her door and send her presents and whatnot. Because the film was very successful and it went around the world. But she coped with it. I mean, she lost a lot of privacy, I suppose, but she does say, and I hope it's true, that it was a beneficial. It was all beneficial.
Oh, yes, it is. In fact, I'm very glad it happened, and very lucky it happened. I think till the day, I keep saying this, Barry's heard it before, but it's true. Till the day I die, and while I have keep such sanity as I have, I'll always be grateful that a man called Barry Cockcroft walked into my life one lovely June night. Like to say I liked him then, and nearly, God willing, 20 years later on, I've had no reason to alter that opinion.
Well, we won't have to do his life story, that's one thing. One of the friendships that you've made is with somebody who remembers a visit he made to you on his bicycle.
But it's a wheelbarrow rather than a bicycle that will always conjure memories of you.
A member of the Order of St. John of God Brothers, Brother Ignatius.
Lovely surprise.
Brother Ignatius, the wheelbarrow.
The wheelbarrow, yes, we'll come to that almost immediately, but just looking back quickly, I think you'll remember that I brought 3 of the residents from our hospital at Scorton. They'd been looking forward to coming to see you, and I thought we must get a Land Rover and we must make the trip. And on that day you met Peter and Geordie and Jimmy. And then you took Geordie for a little visit to the cow sheds. He wanted to see the cows milked. He wanted to see the calves fed, and you completed all that program. And then we came back to see Jimmy, and Jimmy then insisted on going into the house. He wanted to see the inside of Loughburke Hat. So I immediately proceeded to pick him up and carry him as I usually did, but you said, no, Brother Ignatius, I have another idea, and you disappeared quickly, came back as quickly with a brand new wheelbarrow. We padded it with a few cushions, and we enthroned Jimmy in the wheelbarrow. You led the way, I followed, and we had a wonderful visit into the house, around the house, and to the sheds, and Jimmy was really delighted.
Thank you, Brother Ignatius. Following the documentary in 1977, you were invited as a top table guest to the Woman of the Year lunch at the Savoy Hotel in London. You make a big impression at that lunch, particularly on someone who talks to you now from her home in Westminster, Lady Wilson.
Hello, Hannah. I'm sorry I can't be with you and all your friends this evening. If you remember, we met first at a Women of the Year luncheon in 1976 and recently at a book signing. And I've followed your career with great interest, from your lonely farmhouse in the Dales to being an international celebrity. Have a happy, happy evening, dear Hannah, with love from both of us.
Thank you, Lord and Lady Wilson.
Thank you ever so much.
Now, following the documentary, you get little luxuries at the farm, like electricity, but the winters become too much for you, and in 1988, you're forced to sell the farm and say goodbye to your favourite cows, including your longtime favourite, Rosa.
Well, this is Rosa, of course, the mother cow, and grandmother now.
John Geldard, now, you organised the auction to sell off the farm and all Hannah's worldly goods. It must have been a terrible wrench for her.
It certainly was. Retirement was a hard thing for Hannah to cope with. Mainly, I think, because it meant leaving and parting with the old family home. And I do admire the brave way in which she faced up to this problem when the time came. God bless you, Hannah.
Now, the main pastures surrounding the farmhouse were bought by the Durham Wildlife Trust, and Mike Prosser, you're the botanist who surveyed the land. What did you find?
Hannah's pastures were quite remarkable. A little oasis of conservation in all the improved land. They appeared never to have been ploughed, they'd never been seeded, they never had any artificial fertilizer, and as a result they really were things of beauty, and they were of no small scientific interest as well. And as a tribute to Hannah, they're now called the Hannah Hauxwell Meadows.
After the sale of the farm, you moved to this cottage close to Baldersdale at the village of Cotherston. But there's always this painting to remind you of the home you've left behind.
But Hannah, I know you'd rather rely on your own memory of the farm.
He painted the picture, a good friend of yours, Ashley Jackson. Ashley, you say Hannah prefers her own memories.
Yes, I know Hannah'd rather have her own memories rather than have a painting or a photograph, because with her own memories she can mix and match with it. But the thing I always remember Hannah with is that some 14 years ago, Mustafa Hamori brought me up to a farm, and we had a cup of tea, and Mustafa turned around to Hannah and I call Hannah the angel of the moor, because Mustafa turned around to Hannah and said, Hannah, big painting, photograph on the wall, fellow looked like General Kitchener. And he said, Hannah, is that your father? And she says, no, but Mother says it looks very much like my father, so I put it up on the wall. Now, what I'm trying to say in that is that she's so innocent, and she's the only person, apart from the Moors, what makes my hair stand on edge.
Thank you.
Well, for somebody who'd rarely set foot outside the Dales, you've certainly made up for lost time. You've travelled far beyond the boundaries of Baldersdale. Here you are in Venice.
Quite a splendid boat. I think it was quite new, the gondolier said. He was a nice chap. They were a family of gondoliers. I think his father and maybe his grandfather before him.
And for Barry's Innocent Abroad series, you've been to Paris, Rome, Florence, Siena, the Swiss Alps and the Rhineland. Well, most people who know you agree that for all your travels you haven't changed.
Hannah, fame hasn't changed you a bit. You're still sweet, simple and sharp as a razor.
MP and broadcaster Austin Mitchell.
Lovely to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
You first met Hannah on a television programme, what, 20 years ago?
I think I was the first person ever to interview Hannah on television.
Yes, you were.
She was marvellous, because she came down from the Yorkshire Moor. She put me at my ease straight away.
Well,
she's so eloquent, really, because Yorkshire people are normally people of few words, and most of those are bugger off. And Hannah was terrific, because she's got this clear, honest vision of the world. You're like, really like someone from another age, Hannah, I think. But she's got very un-Yorkshire characteristics. She never answers letters. She never even opens letters. Even letters with checks in.
Thank you, Austin Mitchell. Well, something that has come across strongly in these documentaries, Hannah, is your deep love of animals, something you share with a well-known writer and close friend.
But not everybody has your touch with animals, Hannah.
Creator of Coronation Street and novelist Tony Warren. So, Tony, the theme is Hannah and her animals.
Hannah and her animals. I really didn't get to know her properly until I saw her with animals. Because do you remember you came to my house? Yes, I have 3 dogs, and these dogs are rumbustious, is I think the word. That night they were angels. They queued up as good as gold to be introduced to Hannah. The littlest one, Tilly, do you remember?
Yes, oh, I do.
Sat on her knee and refused to move from her knee. But what you don't know, and you called up my little friend of borrowed time. Do you remember?
Yes.
But what you don't know is that when you left, she howled her head off. Oh. And the next morning, somebody banged at the door, and she rushed for the door with joy. And I opened the door, and she started to howl her head off again. And a friend of mine said, whatever have I done to Tilly? And I said, you've done nothing. You're just not Hannah Hauxwell.
Well, my apologies.
As we know, your early days weren't exactly a social whirl, and dancing wasn't often on the agenda, but a time came when, for the first time in your life, you were asked to take the floor.
And Hannah, you made a wonderful partner.
Horticulturalist and broadcaster Alan Titchmarsh.
You don't have to take the floor tonight, you're right.
So you were saying that Hannah was light on your feet, Alan?
She was very light on my feet and light on hers. We were at the Ilkley Arts Ball. We were invited as joint guests, and we had our supper, and then we were asked if we'd set the dancing going. The look of horror that came across Hannah's face. And I said, what's the matter? And she said, well, I've never danced before. So Fred Astaire here said, oh, it's easy, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Got her up, took her on the floor, and it was wonderful. And I suddenly remembered that it was at the King's Hall, Ilkley, which is where I always used to do my dancing as a teenager, because that's where I was born. The number of women at the King's Hall who turned me down when I asked them for a dance, a legion, but I treasure the photograph, and you signed the back of it, and it said,
to my one and only dancing partner. It was my pleasure.
Thank you.
Would like to say that a very brave man and a gentleman.
Well, although boundary changes have placed Baldersdale in Durham, I know that you are fiercely proud of your Yorkshire heritage, and of course you're not the only one.
Hannah, you may know nothing about sport, but you're a lady who really bowled me over.
Former England and Yorkshire fast bowler, the one and only Fred Trueman.
Thank you.
So, Fred, Hannah made a big impact on you, obviously.
Well, she made one tonight. I was clean shaven when I first came here. Yes, she did. You know, she's sort of lady that puts you in your place very, very quickly, aren't you? Because...
Wasn't aware of it.
Because she said to me, she said, I've heard of you, she said, but do you play cricket or football? Yes, she did. She's absolutely super lady. Yes, she is. Lovely to see you. Hey, you're travelling. I've never been at Venice, you've been, so you've got to tell me all about it this evening.
I was nearly 65 before I got there, so you have a bit of time yet.
Oh, isn't that nice? Come on,
And some smooth sand as well. It's
Oh, yeah.
very good.
Did you learn to swim before you went there?
No, I'm no swimmer, no.
You brought some of Hannah's friends down from the north, I believe.
Brought some friends down, Hannah. I can tell you that I would reckon there's probably half the Dale waiting behind there for you.
Right, we certainly are. Thank you very much, Freddie.
Lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we've established that you love playing hymns and singing at your local Methodist chapel. Yes, here tonight, just for you, is your favourite choir, the Cockfield Methodist Male Voice Choir, with leader Edwin Coates on the accordion. And they're going to sing your favourite gospel song. Hannah Hauxwell, this is your life.